Hello, hello, and welcome to our LEAP Community Member Monday Spotlight. I am so delighted to get to talk with one of our LEAP community members, Kimberly Boike, today. So Kimberly, welcome to the Spotlight, and thank you for being a LEAP community member.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I believe you're in Arizona. I'm in Colorado, and it's going to feel like a beautiful spring day here. So well, tell us and the listeners, anyone listening to this live and or later in the recording, tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Yes. Thank you Mary for having me. I appreciate it. The company that I own is called the Entrepreneur Source, and it is a franchise that I actually went through a process of learning about business ownership for myself. I take my clients through the exact same process that I went through. And it really just provides us a space to learn about business ownership, think about what we want. First of all, we go ahead and talk about our dreams. What are your goals and expectations? No matter what path you're going to take, you always need to talk about, what are those goals and expectations? So we go ahead and we do some activities where we are working on those holistically. We want to look at both your professional goals and your personal goals. So many people are looking for that work-life balance now. So we go ahead and make sure that both buckets are being filled. Then we go ahead and talk about the different paths, whether you stay in corporate, same industry, different industry, or even looking at business ownership. We go ahead and look at the pros and cons of each of those. Our business is set up, the affiliates that we have are set up with franchises. So I can help you, a friend of ours, somebody just said the other day, you're the franchise friend. I said, yes, I am. I'm not a broker. I am a person, a consultant, a coach that will take you along the process of education. Just a little background about myself. I was in education for over 27 years. I taught back in Michigan and here in Arizona. But I always had that desire that there was something more, that burning in my gut, and I stayed where I was because it was safe. I had a pension. But when my husband's company moved us out to Arizona, I was able to, do something different. If I was ever going to do anything different, now was the time to do it. So he and I went through this same process. So we learned about the different types of business ownership. We learned about the different industries, and we always tell people to be very open-minded. This is the time to learn. We want people to take the time to learn about things that they don't know, things that they don't have experience with, because it's okay to own a business that you don't have experience in. But yeah, it was a great experience for myself. I feel like I had a lot of value, and our goal isn't to push people down that franchise path. Our goal really is just to bring people to a point of clarity, whether business ownership is for them or not. And then whatever path they do decide to take, we have tools that they can take along with them, like their goals and expectations, and some other things that they can use on whatever path that they take.
I love that. I'm all about entrepreneurship in any way, shape, or form, right? But
yes.
Husband, is a W-2 kind of guy, right? And always has been, always will be. He doesn't have that that gene or whatever it is that causes him to leap off of the corporate cliff. But I love entrepreneurship, and I'm so happy that you are using tools to help people figure out what is the right path for them, right? Whether it be owning a business or not, right? But getting clarity around your goals. I've done so much personal development over the past 20 years. And so you kind of get in that thing of, everybody's doing this kind of work, and everybody works on their goals and knows what their what brings them joy. And I forget that not everybody does. So I'm so glad that you're out there with these tools to help people do that. Because we do need to have that clarity, and it does help us lead a more fulfilling life when we know what brings us happiness and what's going to fulfill us, and how we can use our gifts and talents to contribute to something, right? So
absolutely.
So what is something that you're celebrating in your business, Kimberly?
Well, I actually am coming up on 2 years of owning my business. I'm excited. I am excited. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. I am learning a ton myself. So I have a franchise show that I will be in the Chicago area in April, and then have some local networking events that we'll be at coming up here. But just
Nice.
learning as much as I'm learning, I'm always growing. And that's what a lot of my clients are looking for as well. They always want to be growing and learning. And becoming an entrepreneur, is something I've never done before. And I'm always learning right along with my clients as well.
Yes, yes. There's so much to learn. Congratulations on those 2 years, right?
Thank you.
Those
Thank
first
you.
2 years,
Very
the first
exciting.
year is such a big, learning curve, such a high
Yes.
learning curve, right? There's so
Yes.
many things to learn, from setting up your business and what type of business are you setting up, and how are you going to market, and who is your ideal client, and all of that kind of stuff you have to kind of figure out, right?
Right.
And that's why I love, if people don't want to go through such a big learning curve, right? Finding a franchise that fits them, or purchasing a business that's already established, can really save you some of that learning curve, because if they've documented their processes well and all of that kind of stuff, then you can take over and step in, right? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. It really did. I always had the desire to be my own boss. I just didn't know what to do, or at one time I had a product or service I wanted to sell, but I didn't know how to start a business. It was overwhelming. Yeah. So having my coach be there with me, go through the process with me. And the thing is, I'm there right from the very beginning until the point that you sign an agreement with a business, or until you decide that this is not for you. I go through the whole entire process. It's not something that we talk about and then I just kind of drop off. When you've made that decision and you are ready and you've signed that agreement, I'm there right with you through the whole way, to challenge you, to remind you to keep an open mind, to be open to all the different possibilities that are out there. In fact, we have a stat that says that 95% of our clients that go into a business actually go into something that they have originally would have dismissed in the beginning, had they not gone through the education. Yes. So as I always tell people, just be open-minded to all the different possibilities, because you think you might want to know what you want to go into, but is that going to help you reach your goals and expectations the way that you want? And after learning, a lot of my clients realize that no, what they thought they wanted to go into, it's not. And they actually go into something else that they never would have thought of before.
Yes, yes.
Yes. And the one thing too that is important is I don't charge for my services. I want people to know that my clients never have to pay me. I get paid, just to let you know, on the back end. I get a placement fee from the franchisors if somebody does decide to go into business ownership. But that is, like I said, that is not our goal to push it. We're not I'm not the sales pitch person. I'm not going to be pressuring you. We take things at your pace. And it's really about education, which I love since I have that educational background. And enough people do walk away from this and realize, and they haven't paid me anything. But I'm just happy to give people that opportunity to learn. If they're willing to invest for themselves, the time for themselves, and I'm happy to give that opportunity to them.
Nice. I love that. I love that. I had a conversation with 2 different people just last week in my coaching calls, and they are in a new business that they both said, if you would have told me at the beginning of 2024 that I'd be doing this by the end of 2024, I would have laughed in your face. Like, I would never have been possible, right? It wasn't even in their realm of possibility. And now by the end of the year, they are doing something completely different. So I love that about, entrepreneurs and kind of taking that leap, right? The leap community is another example of women entrepreneurs who have taken that leap and are doing something that is hopefully fulfilling for them and gives them the joy, gives them the freedom, the flexibility to show up and be themselves, right? And build a life and a business that serves them, right? It's not
absolutely
one or the other.
No, exactly. And that was one of my things too. Like I really enjoy working. We have all the different types of business ownership. My thing is I wanted to be full-time owner operator, but I still wanted that flexibility in my schedule. I wanted to have that control over my schedule. Being on this in Phoenix, we have a lot of company from January to April.
Yes.
Revolving door. I love it. All of our family and friends come from the Detroit area. But I can take time to spend with them. I don't have to worry about how many days do I have, and that was really important to me. Another thing is too, when you think of franchising, most people think of fast food. That's not the only industry that franchises, and we have over 20 different industries within our inventory. And then within our inventory, we have over 200 companies.
Wow.
So we're not, just working for like 5 different companies. We really are there for the client to give them that broad education of the different industries, the different types of businesses.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And I think another kind of myth that's out there is they have to have millions of dollars to own a franchise, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that is not the case. One of the things that we do put people in front, we put them in front of funding education as well.
Nice.
So we think it's important, just as if you're going to go out and look for a house, you want to know what your investment range. You don't want to be looking at something that you're going to fall in love with and then realize that you can't afford.
Right.
So no, we have everything from the ranges like, even starting at 50,000, as low as 50,000. And then of course, all the way up. But we really do want to fit your, we don't ever want to put anybody in a situation where they are stretching themselves, that of course is not fair to the client. So we really do work in all areas of making it safe for the client.
Nice. I love that. that. And so what is one of your favorite ways that you work with your clients?
Oh my gosh. I meet with them on Zoom mostly, or phone calls, whatever they prefer, because I am nationwide. So my whole territory is nationwide. I can work with anybody. So Zoom is usually, or phone call. I just love getting to know each person and their stories, and what drives them and motivates them. And it's a very interesting, giving them those aha moments.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. I know. I love that when I'm working with a client, a business owner, right? And they just have this insight and it's just like, yes. And then they take action on it, right? That's the other thing. They have to take action on it. But
exactly.
The next time we meet and saying, oh my gosh, that was great conversation. And I took action and here's the result. Right?
And that's another thing too. We really do help the client stay focused because it is an overwhelming process going through everything. And if you were to go it alone, there's a lot of information. You don't know what you don't know. So I'm there to help guide people. I'm there to help keep them focused. I'm there to hold them accountable, to getting on the calls and doing the activities. So it really is a helpful guided process.
Wonderful. It sounds like such a great way if people have been in kind of a corporate career that's gone stagnant, or we're in February now of 2025, and there are going to be a lot of government workers that are going to be out of jobs soon.
Exactly.
This year. So if they've had that kind of corporate career and are now looking at what's next for me, what is the best way for somebody to start working with you?
Yes, they can go to my website. And you're going to go ahead and put in the chat. Yeah, it's scrolling. You can go to my website, go ahead and read about our processes and what we're focusing on. Go ahead. My calendar is on there. They can go ahead and schedule a 30-minute, conversation. And we just go ahead and talk about, the beginning stages. I explain the process to them. Just happy to get to meet people. And like I said, it's just a learning experience. We're not having anybody making any decisions. Like a lot of people will get frightened maybe after the second, third phone call. They're like, oh, and I'm like, take the decision-making off. You're just learning, that comes way down the road. It's not a quick process either. It takes several months to get through this process and decide.
Which is good. You don't want to rush into something, right? So you want to take your time. And so for those of you, that are looking at a career change in 2025, whether by your own choice or by being forced out of a job, right? Then, please give Kimberly a call and consider this pathway into entrepreneurship. It's, the guidance and the self-discovery that you're going to be able to do will be so huge for you making a decision, right? Whatever that decision is, whether you go get another job or you decide to come, join us in the entrepreneur pool. I love it.
Exactly.
So all are welcome, right?
Yes, yes. And no matter what path you take, we have people to refer you to help in whichever path.
Great. Okay, we're going to wrap up here. I put all your contact information in the chat so people can find it. We'll also, if you're watching this later after it's been recorded, you didn't catch the live, then we'll have that all in the notes below so that you can reach out to Kimberly, book a call with her, and just have the discovery call, right? Just see where you're at.
Absolutely.
We're going to wrap up with some rapid fire little quick questions. So for people to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay, great.
Okay. So what one word would your best friend use to describe you?
Kind.
Nice. If you found $100 on the ground, how would you spend it?
How would I spend it? Probably on my kids.
Okay, good. And what emoji do you use the most on your phone in your chats?
Oh, the double heart pink.
Double heart pink. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, pink heart.
Awesome. And a go-to snack?
Oh, the Reese's Thins peanut butter cups.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Frozen.
Yummy. Oh, frozen. Awesome. Okay, well, great. It's been so great talking to you, Kimberly. Thank you again for being a member of the LEAP community. Again, if you're watching this live, thank you for watching us. If you're catching the recording later, please reach out to Kimberly and have that conversation.
Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Have a great day.
You too.